We have a special guest here today, Christine McInnis, who is also a guest on our Own It Show podcast. So you definitely want to check out that episode. She's amazing. We go in depth on how to own your health and wellness holistically, about the fertility journey, about how chronic pain does not need to be normal, and so much more. And so we've got mastery tips and tricks for you today on how to own your cycle holistically. So first, please introduce yourself. Tell us more about you. Where are you from? And then we'll dive into your tip.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Christine McInnis of Willow Therapies. So I support women through their hormone health, their reproductive health, their fertility health, and help to live more in harmony with their cycles and having cycles with less pain and less discomfort, which I believe is true, can be had for most of us. And I work both in my Headingley studio here, where I see clients in person, as well as providing online hormone health consults and some work around breath work and hypnotherapy to support our health from the inside out.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add in onto that. We noted on the podcast, we said there are so many symptoms that women have with their menstrual cycles and their hormones that are common yet not normal. That's what we like to say in nutrition school. They're common. So just because everyone had it or your mom had it and what have you, doesn't mean they're normal. And when we can understand a little bit more about that hormone cycles, then we can truly begin to also just respect that journey, right?
Exactly. And I think that's the kind of the biggest foundational tip I have is to learn how to harness and learn from our monthly cycles. As females who are menstruating, we go through different stages in our cycle. We go through the period, which everyone knows and a lot of people dread, but it's information. It's telling us how our body is doing. It's like a health report every month. And I think when we understand that we can use it as our health report, and then also look at our other stages of our cycle to see kind of if we're lining up with what is healthy, not just common, it gives us a lot of information about our health and how to better support our health for all of our body, not just our reproductive health.
And I love that. I really like to say that I can always tell how my nutrition and my habits were the previous month by the state of my period.
Yes.
Right? It really is. I love that. So say that again. What do we want to use it as? As a health report card?
A health report card, yeah. Like a monthly check-in into our state of health.
I love it. So tell us a little bit more how we could do that.
Yes. So first of all, there's 4 stages of our cycle. So I'm going to start with ovulation first, because that's really kind of the catalyst for the other cycles. So ovulation, if you are not on hormonal birth control and you are ovulating naturally, is a time where we often have high energy. We have a little bit slimmer. We kind of appear more glowy, more like effortlessly social. So knowing that, looking at ovulation, if you're feeling tired, bloated, if you're getting acne during that time of the month, and we could go on to a few more, those are all signs that something isn't quite in line. Something isn't quite right. And I like to start with ovulation because I will get menstrual migraines. Who else gets menstrual migraines? Those nasty migraines that happen just before your period or in those first couple of days. We can predict and prevent at our ovulation stage. So I notice for myself, if I'm getting symptoms around ovulation that don't kind of go in line with what ovulation is supposed to be like, I'm way more likely to get a migraine around my period. So that's my sign to get my stuff in order, like don't drink more water, do my movement, do my neck stretches, and kind of like I have like my whole menstruation prevention for migraines. And if I'm getting symptoms around ovulation, that means that I need to like be 110% on that for this cycle. If you get really painful bleeds, really awful cramps, you might have the same thing where you start to get some symptoms around ovulation. And that means you have 2 weeks to really focus on preventing your menstrual cramps. So you have an early warning sign there. Luteal phase, I would say follicular and luteal kind of are less kind of where we're going to learn from, but it's nice to know that our energy naturally slows down. Our food needs naturally change to more easily digested food, and we're going to feel better if we're honoring that.
And for those listening who don't know what that part of the cycle is or that phase is, could you elaborate a bit more?
Yes. So, and for those who don't know what ovulation is, that's our mid-cycle. That's when our body releases an egg, and that act of releasing an egg starts to stimulate the next phase of our cycle, which is luteal, which is where our body is either preparing for pregnancy or our next menstruation. So luteal is the phase between ovulation and menstruation. Menstruation, we know, that's our period, that's our time of the month. And often there will be a number of days of cramps, of pain, of mood swings. Our bleeds can be different colors. They can be dark red, light red, tinged pink. They can start heavy. They can start with spotting. They can end with spotting. They can last for 3 days. They can last for 7 days. They can include clots. And all of that gives us information into the state of our overall health. Having clots, usually a sign that we're bleeding too heavily. All right, so what's happening with our hormones around ovulation, that's kind of leading into that heavier bleed. So next cycle, maybe we should do some more work around our supporting our hormone health to prevent those heavy bleeds the next cycle, or seek support through someone like me, fertility coach, naturopath. There's supports out there to help, because there can be a lot, and it's very individual to each person. But having those signs around your bleeds, having spotting, that's a really big sign, can often be associated with progesterone levels. Having really painful cramps, sometimes it can be, the shape of your body, but it can also be something that can be helped. And same with the heavy bleeds. So that's your first clue. Something's off. All right, let's start working with our health to work with the next rest of our cycle. And then follicular phase is your bleed to ovulation. So just good note, that's an increasing energy phase, great time to start new things, great time to start workouts. So if you find that you're really having trouble starting new habits, it might be you're just doing it in a time of your cycle that's making it harder on you. So understanding your cycle stages can also really help when you choose to start eating healthy, you choose to start exercising. There's huge benefits to doing that after your period.
And that's really smart. It's working in harmony with our body and our hormones. And what would you say would be like the number 2 average tips that you would give to people if they are having some of the symptoms that you were suggesting, like heavier bleeds, mood swings, cramping, spotting? What would be like your top 2 that you normally give to people first? That is like non-negotiables, I like to call them.
If you are experiencing period cramps and they're bad whole cycle long, take time to get your body into a parasympathetic nervous system state. So basically, say relax or de-stress. We need to get out of that fight or flight. And we're busy, so it's hard. So top tip, do some diaphragmatic breathing for 20 minutes a day, every day, or some meditation or some slow yoga. And chances are you will see a difference in your menstrual symptoms. The other thing is looking at nutrition. And we do have certain nutrition needs that support our hormones. Super easy, simple thing is to do a seed mix and incorporate 2 tablespoons of seeds throughout your day. I recommend mixing equal parts flax seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and which one am I missing?
Hemp seeds?
No, not hemp.
Primrose oil?
I'm just having a brain blank. I can pop a link in the chart there too, in the chat there, with a little bit on that.
And so oils are so great for our nervous system, for our skin, but it is those seeds and the seed oils, the good seed oils. It's really important that we understand there is very harmful seed oils that are in foods that are rancid and causing a lot of health conditions. So we're looking at on a holistic component, the healthy seeds, like you said, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds. Great tip for flax is keep it in the fridge. It goes rancid quickly. So super important for that. If you like to have flax on its own, get the seeds, grind them, keep them in the freezer so they last longer, and they don't oxidize and change with the air as well. And then I got
in the chat if people want to read
that, and she's got a great link here about.
But it's in the private chat. I don't know if you can move it.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys.
My clients always say, "If it's pumpkin, flax, sesame, I missed." All right, sesame and sunflower. It's so easy, and it makes a really big difference for people. So, anyways.
I love that.
20 minutes a day to shift your nervous state, and 2 tablespoons of seeds if you are experiencing heavy or painful bleeds. And I
have a question. Do you have a favorite breath work? So I use the Wim Hof method. I use the app. I find if I do guided breath work, it's just so much easier. I pay like $10 a month. I use the Wim Hof app. It's got guided breath work. I absolutely love it. Do you have something that you like to use?
Yeah, Wim Hof is amazing as well. I usually just use Insight Timer. It's free. I do like to switch things up. But the most basic thing is if you have music you like to put on and just breathe in right into your belly, feeling your belly like really expand. Breathe in for a count of 6, hold for 4, breathe out for 6, hold for 4, and repeat. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to try to keep your mind clear. You don't have to try to force, like you can just groove to some music and do that breath pattern. 6-4-6-4, and that'll do the trick.
So intentional breathing. So it's the rectangular breath. It's the in for 6, hold for 4, out for 6, hold for 4. So my challenge is for everybody and maybe you're not going to start with 20 minutes. Totally get it. And there is scientific proof, if you watch last week's Mastery Tips and Tricks, if we do something like this, within a certain amount of days, you were scientifically improved your resilience because you reduced your threat load. You allowed your nervous system to come back out of fight or flight, put yourself into rest or digest, and you're able to be more resilient and respond instead of react to things in your environment. And I know with the holidays coming up, we all want that. So we are going to pay attention to using our period, our hormone cycles as report cards to let us know how we're actually treating our body. And we're going to start to work in harmony with our hormone cycles so that we can do what is best at the times that's best for us. So healthy seeds, guided breath work, or just groove into some breath work with some rectangular breathing, intentional breathing, and then using your cycle and your period as a report card to tell you how you've been treating your lovely vehicle, this meat suit that gets to take you through life. And Christine, where can they learn more about you and connect with you?
Yes, so you can check me out on Instagram. I have a fair bit of information at Willow_Therapies. My website is willowtherapies.ca. And if you are looking to get rid of your painful periods for good, you can book a Happier Hormones consult with me at willowtherapies.jnapp.com.
I love it.
Get you started on a plan for you. Yeah.
Amazing. So guys, it's time, ladies, gentlemen, guys, all the things. It's time to own your health and wellness holistically. And these are some mastery tips and tricks that are uncommon, and we're here to help you own it. So thank you so much for being on this show. Remember, expect magic and miracles, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and we'll see you back next time.